having trouble controlling the puddle on vertical welds. In many cases, they're simply using the wrong technique. Today, we're going to break down vertical welding step by step. Master these 3 key techniques. Make vertical welding easier. The hardest part of vertical welding is getting good fusion at the root. And avoid lack of fusion, there are 2 common travel patterns you can use: triangle pattern and inverted V pattern. With the inverted V pattern, the movement between the sides is larger and there's less molten metal supporting the center of the weld. This can make the center of the bead thinner and give you a rougher bead pattern. With the triangle pattern, the molten pool stays more controlled and compact. The finished bead tends to have a finer, more uniform appearance. If you want a flatter weld with a finer, more consistent bead pattern, go with the triangle pattern. Once you've chosen the triangle pattern, there are 2 things you need to understand: where to pause and how long to pause. At the top point, pause the longest, watch the molten pool, and wait until the weld metal has properly filled the area. Then, at the left and right points, shorten the pause slightly. Otherwise, molten metal will build up on both sides of the weld. And remember, overlap each weld pool by about 2/3. The molten pool should reach the highest point of the weld to maintain a smooth, even bead. If you find that you're having trouble moving the weld upward, the problem is often not your travel pattern, it's your torch angle. A common idea is that for vertical welding, the torch should be at 90 degrees and then tilted downward by 20 to 30 degrees. That's actually a problem. When you push the molten pool upward like this, the weld gets thicker and thicker as you move up, and the thicker the weld becomes, the harder it is to move upward. Eventually, you can end up with a raised or convex section in the middle of the weld. So what's the correct angle? Keep the torch at around 90 degrees or tilt it downward only slightly, about 5 to 10 degrees. There's another detail that many people overlook. You may notice that the lower half of the weld looks great, the torch angle feels right, but once you get toward the middle and start moving higher, suddenly you get a lot of popping and unstable wire feeding, and you can't seem to move upward anymore. A lot of people blame the welding machine or think the voltage is unstable. But in most cases, the machine isn't the problem. The real problem is that your torch angle has changed. Your angle may be correct when you start. But as you move upward, if you simply lift the torch with your wrist while your arm stays in the same position, your torch angle gradually changes. And the higher you go, the longer your stick out becomes, which makes the arc harder to control. That's why your arm needs to move parallel with the direction of travel as you weld upward. Don't just lift the torch with your wrist to reach the higher part of the joint. Vertical fillet welding may look difficult, but these 3 key points can make a big difference. 1, travel pattern. Start with the triangle pattern. It provides good root fusion and gives you a finer, more consistent bead pattern. 2, pause time. Pause longer at the top point and slightly less on the left and right sides. Watch the molten pool and make sure the weld metal has properly filled the area. 3, torch angle. Keep the torch around 90 degrees vertically with only a slight downward tilt of about 5 to 10 degrees, preferably no more than 5 degrees. And remember to move your arm parallel with the weld as you move upward. Put these techniques together and you can get a vertical fillet weld that's much flatter, smoother, and more consistent. That's it for today. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and follow for more welding tips.